A $1 bill, the same one you might throw away or spend at your local store, could actually be worth a small fortune. But not just any dollar bill. We're talking about a rare 2013 E-Series $1 bill. These bills are extremely rare, and if you find one with the right mistakes, it could make you rich. Let's dive into what makes these bills so special. The 2013 E-Series dollar bills were part of a new series released by the US government to make money harder to counterfeit. They were printed with new security features, like a tiny blue security thread, watermarks, and other advanced anti-fake techniques. But while most bills from the series are just regular bills, some of them came out with printing errors that make them highly valuable today. These errors are what make certain 2013 dollar bills worth huge amounts of money. Some of these errors are so rare that they can sell for as much as $135,000 at auctions. The most common errors include things like misprinted serial numbers, misaligned prints, or inverted bills, where one side of the bill is upside down. While these mistakes might sound small, they're actually extremely valuable in the world of currency collectors. Now, you might be asking, why would an error make a bill worth so much? Well, here's the thing, in the world of numismatics, the study and collection of money, rarity is everything. A bill with a mistake is unique. It's one of a kind. If you're the lucky person to find one of these rare 2013 E-Series bills, you could be holding a treasure. It's kind of like finding a rare Pokemon card or a limited edition toy. Even though it's a small mistake, the fact that it's different makes it incredibly valuable. So, how do you find one of these rare bills? First, you need to check the serial number. Normally, a serial number on a bill is printed in perfect order. But on these rare bills, the serial number might be misprinted, which means it looks slightly different from the rest. If you find a bill with a serial number that's misaligned, or even one with two serial numbers printed, you could have a winner. Another key thing to look for is a star note. A star note is a special replacement bill issued by the US Treasury if a bill is damaged during printing. These bills have a small star symbol next to the serial number. If you find a star note with a printing error, it can be worth a lot of money, especially if it's in perfect condition. One of the most exciting types of errors you can find is called an off-center print. Normally, the printing on the front and back of a bill lines up perfectly. But sometimes, the printing gets misaligned, meaning the design on the front doesn't match up with the design on the back. This happens when the bill is fed into the printing press incorrectly. It might not sound like a big deal, but these misprints make the bill much more valuable to collectors. People love to collect bills that are different from the rest, and an off-center bill is a huge find. Another mistake to look out for is an inverted bill. This is one of the rarest and most valuable types of error. Imagine taking a bill and printing the back side upside down while the front side is normal. This kind of mistake only happens in the printing process when something goes wrong. If you're lucky enough to find an inverted bill from the 2013 E-Series, you could be holding onto something worth tens of thousands of dollars. Now, you might wonder how much these rare bills are actually worth. It can depend on the type of error, how rare it is, and how well preserved the bill is. Some 2013 E-Series error bills have sold for around $78,000, while others can fetch up to $99,000. But the absolute most valuable ones, the ones with the most extreme errors, can go for as much as $135,000. That's a life-changing amount of money for a bill that was only worth $1 when it was first printed. But here's the thing, not all bills with errors are going to make you rich. The value really depends on how rare the error is and the condition of the bill. A bill with a rare mistake but in poor condition won't fetch as much as one in mint condition. It's like collecting baseball cards. A card in perfect shape is worth way more than one that's been bent or torn up. If you think you might have one of these rare bills, you'll want to inspect it closely. The key is to look for mistakes that make the bill stand out. Check the serial number carefully, look for star notes, and examine the printing on the front and back of the bill. If you find an off-center print, an inverted print, or any other misprint, you could have a valuable treasure in your hands. But how do you know if the bill you have is worth thousands of dollars? If you think you've found a rare 2013 E-Series error bill, you can have it appraised by a professional numismatist or send it to an auction house that specializes in currency. These experts can tell you how much the bill is really worth and whether it's worth selling. The world of currency collecting is bigger than you might think. There are thousands of collectors all over the world, looking for the next big find. Whether you're just starting to collect, or you've been collecting for years, finding a rare bill with an error is like hitting the jackpot. The great thing is, anyone can get involved. You don't have to be a professional collector to find a valuable bill. All you need is a little knowledge, some patience, and a good eye for spotting these rare mistakes. In the past, there have been real-life auctions where these error bills have sold for huge amounts. For example, at one major auction, a misaligned serial number from the 2013 E-Series was sold for $78,000. At another auction, a star note with an off-center print went for $99,000. And the most valuable note ever recorded, a bill with an inverted print, was sold for an astounding $135,000. These are not just stories. They're actual sales that show just how valuable these rare error bills can be. So, the next time you pull out a dollar bill, you might want to give it a closer look. Is it just another piece of paper, or could it be the key to a fortune? Who knows? Maybe you're holding onto a rare 2013 E-Series error bill right now, and you don't even know it. If you're serious about collecting, keep your eyes peeled for these rare bills. The world of currency collecting is exciting, and with the right knowledge, you could find something that changes your life forever. Imagine paying your bills or buying lunch with a $1 bill that could be worth $78,000 or more. It's possible, and it could be happening right in your wallet. So, make sure to check your change carefully and start looking for those rare errors. You never know, your next dollar bill could be worth far more than you think. And remember, in the world of currency collecting, rarity equals value. The more unique the error, the more money you can make. Good luck, and happy hunting. Imagine finding that in your change or in a drawer at home. It sounds unbelievable, right? But it's true, and today I'm going to tell you everything about why this coin is so special and how you might just have one of these rare gems in your possession right now. Stick around to the end, because this story could change the way you look at your pocket change forever. Let's start with a bit of history. The £1 coin was introduced in the UK in 1983, replacing the old £1 note. It was designed to be more durable, lasting longer than paper money, which can easily tear and get dirty. The coin itself was designed with a beautiful, detailed image, featuring symbols representing the four nations of the UK, a rose for England, a shamrock for Ireland, a thistle for Scotland, and a leek for Wales. This coin was meant to be used by millions of people in everyday transactions, and that's what it did for many years. But here's where things get interesting. Not all of the coins made in 1983 were the same. Some of them were actually minted wrong due to a mistake at the Royal Mint. This error happened because the coins were supposed to have a specific design and edge, but a small batch of coins ended up with a major printing flaw. This flaw, a mistake that only a few of these coins had, turned them into something much more valuable than a regular pound coin. The error was that these coins were minted with a smooth edge instead of the usual milled edge. If you look closely at most coins, you'll notice that they have tiny grooves along the edge. This is to make it harder for people to file down the coin and take its metal. But in this case, some coins got made without these grooves, and that made them extremely rare. They didn't get caught early in the production process, so they made it into circulation. Once they were in the hands of the public, people started noticing something was off. As time passed, these coins became extremely valuable to collectors. You see, in the world of coins, anything that's rare and different can be worth a lot of money. And because only a few of these misprinted coins made it into circulation, they became highly sought after. In fact, these coins can be worth up to $80,000, $100,000, or even $150,000 depending on the condition and how rare the coin's flaw is. Now, imagine that for a second, holding a coin that was meant to be worth only £1, but now it's worth thousands of dollars. So, what makes these coins so special? It's all about the rarity. Usually, when a coin is made with an error, it gets noticed quickly, and the Royal Mint will either correct the mistake or destroy the coins that were made wrong. However, these 1983 era coins slipped through the cracks, and because so few of them exist today, they're considered priceless treasures by coin collectors. People who collect coins are always on the lookout for these kinds of errors, because owning one is like owning a piece of history. Now, you might be asking, how can I tell if I have one of these rare coins? It's actually pretty simple. The biggest thing you need to look for is the smooth edge. Normally, the 1983 £1 coin has grooves running along the side. If the coin you have is completely smooth with no grooves, then it's one of those rare coins. If you find one of these coins, you could be holding something worth a small fortune. Another thing to look for is the condition of the coin. The better the condition, the more it's worth. If the coin has scratches, wear, or dirt on it, it's not going to fetch as much money. But a perfect condition coin, one that looks like it's never been used, can sell for a much higher price. Coins that are well preserved are much more desirable to collectors because they look better and have more historical value. The value of these coins can go up depending on the auction or the market demand. Sometimes, high-quality era coins can fetch incredible prices at coin auctions, where collectors are willing to pay anything to get their hands on a rare item. For example, a 1983 smooth edge coin in perfect condition might be sold for $100,000 at an auction. That's a lot of money for a coin that was originally worth just £1. But it's all about how rare and valuable it has become over time. And the truth is, the more people learn about these coins, the more their value goes up. When a coin is rare and gets attention from collectors and the media, its price tends to rise. In fact, the 1983 £1 era coin has already reached incredible prices at auctions, and its value continues to grow as more collectors hunt for one. If you find one of these coins, not only are you holding a piece of history, but you're also holding a potential fortune. So, how do you find one of these rare coins? The first step is to check your change. If you're lucky enough to find a 1983 £1 coin, don't just assume it's a regular coin. Take a close look at the edge. If it's smooth instead of grooved, then you might just be holding onto a priceless treasure. It's important to check your coins carefully because these errors are hard to spot, and they could be hiding in plain sight. Another way to find these coins is by looking through coin collections or estate sales. Sometimes, people sell their collections without realizing the value of the coins inside. If you're really serious about finding a 1983 era coin, you could even look into coin dealers or coin shows, where collectors and dealers gather to buy and sell rare coins. Keep your eyes peeled and always be on the lookout for that smooth-edged pound coin. Even if you don't find one right away, don't give up. Collecting rare coins is a fun and exciting hobby. You never know when you might stumble across something that could change your life. If you do find a rare coin, make sure to get it appraised by an expert. Professional numismatists can tell you exactly how much your coin is worth and help you find the best way to sell it if you choose to. In the world of coin collecting, the 1983 £1 era coin is considered a legend. It's one of those rare finds that every collector dreams of getting their hands on. And while these era coins are hard to come by, they do show up every now and then, sometimes in places you wouldn't expect. Maybe it's in your spare change. Maybe it's sitting in a drawer in your house, waiting to be discovered. Or maybe, just maybe, you'll find one on your next trip to a coin show or auction. At the end of the day, this coin is more than just money. It's a symbol of how rare and special mistakes can be. A tiny flaw in the minting process turned this simple coin into a priceless treasure. And if you happen to find one, you could be sitting on a fortune that could change your life forever. So, don't underestimate the coins you have. That £1 coin you throw into your pocket might just be worth thousands of dollars. Start checking your change, and who knows, your next 1983 £1 era coin could be worth a fortune. Keep your eyes open and your hopes high. The next rare coin could be closer than you think. Thanks for sticking with me until the end. Make sure you like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on any other exciting discoveries. Who knows what other treasures are hidden out there waiting to be found?